video onto um, once we're streaming here again. All right, let's turn my video on blur so that you're not looking at the whiteboard. I'm going to that afterward. Okay, so we're going to go to that at the end, and I'm going to share my screen for a little bit because that's what we want to cover tonight. And again, I appreciate. Hope you didn't think I was stepping on your toes there, Candy, or anyone else who spoke. I didn't set up properly and I didn't set the proper expectations. So I apologize. So now we got back to my screen, right? And here we go. Are we on the monthly updates, McGuire?
Monthly updates,
Yep.
yep.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's my mama there, Sharon. Go, Sharon, go. I was just talking to my sisters and brothers that I woke up this morning. I woke up the other morning, Sunday morning at 7 a.m. and my mom's work phone number from 1984 popped in my head, 247 4500 extension 203. And I'm like, I text all my brothers and sisters, anyone know this number? And of course, my sister said, that's mom's work line. What in the world? Well, anyway, my mom and I have worked together since 1993 now. She's 84 years old, right, Mama? 83, 84, and getting after it, loves working support. And she's on here all the time. People go, it's too late. Come on now, Mama's on here. We've worked together for a lot of years, and she loves working with all of you as brokers. She'll never stop working with all of you as brokers. You can, Mom. It's okay. But we're glad to have you here, and we know that you love it. So she's working on all the T-shirt mailers right now. Just loves getting after this stuff. So thanks, Mom, for working with us all these years. And obviously, I love you, and I love having you part of the team. So makes it fun and endearing. I feel like I'm playing baseball. Mama's in the stands, but Mama's on the field with me. All right, so let's talk updates here. All right, first thing I want to say is we've got a brand new funding special, okay? Business funding for the personal care industry. Sorry for that slide area. I was putting those together at 10 minutes before the 8 o'clock meeting. Business funding for the personal care industry. It's our March funding special. Higher approvals, lower repayment costs for the personal care industry. There are banks, then there's Bank Breezy. Okay. So every one of you knows someone, you get your hair cut, you get your nails done, you get your facials, you get your pedicures and manicures, you get massages. Any of the personal care industry counts in this. And what they're doing is we're looking to add more personal care clients to our portfolio. The best thing about this is they've got a lot of growth use, whether they're expanding locations, whether they are adding more booths, whether they're adding a tanning bed to their salon, whether they're adding new equipment. There's always new equipment and new money-making opportunities for salons and personal care studios, whether it's putting a new shelving unit in so they can display hair products to sell and they don't have the money to buy that wall unit and buy all that inventory and they need 10 grand and bam, you help them. Or they've got one location and they want to have a second. Whatever the need is, we don't know them all, but we help them all. And we see a lot of nail salons benefiting from our capital and hair salons and barbers. And now we base it on the revenue they put in their bank. Some people are cash businesses and they don't deposit it all. We can't fund against sales we can't see. So they should be putting everything in their bank for their own protection, but not all do. But if they're taking credit cards, they do because it gets deposited in their bank, right? So it's a great retail industry. It's a beautiful market for you to focus on. So my question is for all of you brand new brokers and existing brokers, especially if you're in the national championship, which we're going to talk about in a minute, who do you know that cuts hair? Who do you know that takes personal care product, hair salon, nail salon, skin firming products, whatever the different industries are out there, you know them all. Higher approvals and lower repayment costs in the month of March. All right. So if they're applied, this is a good time. So it's time to reach out and let them know you have a reason to reach out, that there's special funding for the personal care industry in the month of March. All right. Last month it was the trades industries, construction. This month is business funding. Spanish site is live. You hopefully already know about that. You can go directly to bankbreezy.com. It's only the Bank Breezy site. We talked about this last month, but I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention again. Bankbreezy.com/ES// your ID number will take them right to the translated site. If you don't put the ES and look in the upper right hand corner there, you'll see the Espanol flag of Spain in the upper right hand corner of the website there. They could click that too to see the Spanish translation. All of you can try it. It's only at bankbreezy.com. But if you're sending it to a Spanish speaking person, why not send them right to the Spanish translation? All you got to do is add /ES/your ID number to the end of the site. And that's going to Giggle or our larger funding. All are Spanish translated now and have Spanish translated speaking and updates. Here's your business funding brochure for the month. It's in your resources center right now. You can add your broker information to the bottom there. We've got a tutorial on how to simply add it through Microsoft or Keynote. If you don't know how to edit a PDF, you're going to have to do that on your own. We don't edit the PDF for you, but we did build this brochure for you. You just have to add your information on the bottom left. Where you find that is in the LMS, in the learning management system. Notice how it says first time logging in there. If you've never been there before, you can click that link. You will need to reset your password. You will need your broker ID. And you can read that when you get there if you've never been there before. All right, you do need to set it up. But once you're in, you will get an email when you start DAC. But if you don't know it, just click password reset and you'll be able to do it from there. Okay. Once you're in if you click on resources, that's where you'll see the funding brochure right now. You'll also go to the course list to get certified. Once you're certified, there's funding courses and compensation courses and agency expansion courses, all kinds of modules. But you got to get certified before you can see all those. However, before you're certified, you can click on resources. This is what you'll find. If you want to find that funding brochure, you don't look at all the boxes on the bottom. You go to business funding. Once you're in business funding, you'll have to scroll down, but you'll see marketing material. And then there on the bottom right, you're going to see the new March funding brochure. Refresh your page because when I went in there for the first time, this wasn't showing. It was still showing February's. And so the LMS has to be refreshed. It's called caching. Your computer, to make things more efficient for you for faster loading, saves your last time you were on the site. And so it reloads that again. And so unless you hit refresh, it's going to load the old site that was as of 2 days ago, but now this was updated about an hour ago. It was added to the resources, so that's where you'll find it. Mark your calendars. Next week, tonight, right around now, 9 o'clock, we're going to be doing a local leader event. I'll be hosting that from 9 to 9:30 Eastern time, March 10th. Okay. We're going to be going through content for 30 minutes. Then we're going to do Q&A. Okay. We'll do Q&A and I'll stay on as long as it takes to answer all the questions, but we want to give you kind of a time frame there of 9:30 to 10 so that we come ready to roll. You come ready to ask your questions, and I try to keep as efficiently as possible for all of you. Okay, so that's next week. Mark your calendar. Now, if you're not one of the local leaders, you got to subscribe to that. How do you subscribe? You got to go to the DAC leader link to subscribe, and you'll get the email journey. You'll get one email per day for 10 days. Each email has system education on it, strategy, plus some homework to do. Just go to dacleader.com to subscribe if you haven't already. If you did, you got those 10 emails. I just went through and I bookmarked them all and I saved them and flagged them all. Just read them again the other day. I wrote them and I try to read them once a week because there's great content, great reminders. It's like if you've got a workout plan, every time you read it, you get inspired and you're reminded of something you're not doing, right? So if you've not already read it and you're saying you want to build in the pay plan, you want to make money in the pay plan in this model, then I would highly recommend that become part of your unconscious thinking. And it starts out where you are unconsciously incompetent. You don't know what you don't know about leading a local market. But once you read all that, you see everything, then you realize what you didn't know. And now you become consciously incompetent. You're aware of what you didn't know. But then you work it and you keep working, you keep reading it and keep doing it. And eventually you become consciously competent. You got to think about it, but you can do it. You got to think about, okay, serve the client first. Don't worry about the outcome. Stay local and help refer their business, help them grow their business. Only look for people who've already identified the growth opportunity. Only talk to people who understand they got to repay their money with the money they're going to do, then it's not expensive. But if they're desperate, we got to solve what's causing the desperation rather than giving them money. Unless the desperation is a broken machine, then yeah, giving them the money will solve the problem. But if we haven't solved the problem, getting the money is just making it worse. And okay, I'm consciously competent. I'm thinking about these things. I'm realizing that I've got like a life jacket for people, but more importantly, I got rocket fuel. I'm a life jacket for some, but I don't want to drown others with the weight of debt. So I'm looking for businesses that are rocket fuel, they're rocket ships going in the right direction. I'm going to give them rocket fuel to keep propelling. That's what that's fun. And I'm going to focus on being interested in the business. I'm going to focus on not trying to get them to take funding, but instead I'm going to get to understand their business and see if funding can help. And I'm going to really have fun with this. That's all conscious competence. And before long, you walk into a bakery, you're not even thinking. You're just talking about, oh, nice. Dude, that grill. I bet that drives a lot of revenue for you guys. That's awesome. And oh, check that. I love that display case over there. Are you having success with that? It's lit up really nice. It's looking sharp. You just become consciously competent, then unconsciously competent. You don't even recognize. It's like Michael Jordan. You could throw him a basketball today. He doesn't shoot the ball every day. You throw him a basketball today, and boom, he'll hit it. I watched a video of him the other day, and he was at a free throw line in front of a bunch of kids. He said, I haven't shot a free throw in like 3 years. Some of you saw the video. And it may have been 2 years. I don't know, but he's like, I haven't shot a free throw in a long time. Now I'm in front of a whole school. And the guy puts me on the line to hit a free throw. I'm Michael Jordan. I got to make this free. Of course he made the free throw, right? Because it's unconscious competence. He doesn't even have to think about it. Some of you are unconsciously competent. You don't even have to think about it. You're good. Eventually, talking to business owners about the funding will be that way. Eventually, they'll sense you. They'll know you care. And then when they know you care, they'll care what you know about. And then they're going to get funding through you, and they're going to talk to you, and they're going to refer you. And you won't. But right now, if you're unconsciously incompetent, you don't even know you're turning them off because you're just trying to get them funded. You're just trying to get money, make your commission. And you're turning people off and you don't even know what you don't know. And so then our training teaches you how to kind of slow your roll a little bit and just educate and let the impact be the impact. And it's not up to you to make sure they get funding. It's up to you to make sure they're educated and let them decide. But if you care about them, they're going to use you when they need funding. If you don't care about them, they're going to go to someone else, even if you're the one who educated them. So unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence to conscious competence to unconscious competence. Hopefully you wrote those 4 things down because that's what you want to go through. And if you're not already a DAC leader, if you don't already know how to open up a new market, then you better be reading those emails on the daily. It should be like a devotional. I've got a devotional I read every single day, and I'm looking forward to this most recent one. I'm like 30 days from 1 year where I haven't missed a day. Sometimes I had to read it at night because I couldn't read it in the morning or forgot. But I think it's only been 4 or 5 times all year. I love starting my day with my devotional. Well, start your day with your devotional of the local leader system until it's unconscious, right? Read it. I'm reading mine. I don't read it every day, but again, I wrote it. So it's most of it I'm unconsciously competent in. I don't even know how much I know in certain areas because I've already expanded so many markets, right? But over the last 35 years. But that doesn't mean that I can't forget some basics. But if you've never done it, man, you got that manual. Read it, subscribe to it, read it, subscribe to it, read it, subscribe to it, right? And then come next week. Of course, come next week. All right, so where's my mouse? Workshop next week for those in the journey. Yes. Tuesday, 1:10. I'm sorry, that's 2:10:26. Sorry about that. 9 to 10, 30 minutes plus 30 minutes of content and 30 minutes of Q&A. Now let's talk about the national championship before I go to the whiteboard. Many of you know we launched the national championship in January. We named the top qualifiers 64, and then we're going to limit it down to 32 on the 10th of this month. So, and then on the 10th, we're going to lower it down to Sweet 16. So, but the top 64 were just released. So some of you weren't aware of this, but just so you know, because we're going to be doing another one next quarter, provided this one continues to produce well. And this is how it works. You get points for new brokers and certified brokers. You get points for new applications and funding applications. And you get points for anyone you personally enrolled during the challenge who does those things. Okay. And so you can see the advancement rounds there. And here's how you get points again. Personal brokers, 5 points, 50 if they get certified. If you get a funding, you get 50 points for a completed app and then 10% whatever the bonus revenue is. So in this example, the guy has 655 points, right? And now team points, if you referred them, you get half of whatever they did. So you'd get 327. So this is how the points are earned. You don't have to fully understand this. This is in the brochure in the resource center. So I'm going to move on, but you can read it in the brochure if you don't know it. So there's the rounds we're moving. Now, here's what you get. So we've limited the top 64. Each round, we're giving additional prizes. This is what the 64 get. There were 71 actually who got in. So a limited edition qualifiers tee says national champion on it. Only 75 are made. If you're qualified, it's only one version. It'll only be made once, and you get it. It's the original, the first time we've ever done this. You also get 4 Zoom backgrounds to choose from, so you can show your swag, a digital swag, if you will, when you're on the Zooms. Wear that T-shirt and wear that backdrop and just drop it, right? 4 exclusive Zoom backdrops. This just happens to be a sample, my little mug in there, but you get a exclusive qualifier social post. You got to send us your headshot. I think we've created about 15 of these so far. Many people of the 64 haven't sent us their headshot yet. So if you're one of the qualifiers, you got to send us your headshot. Just take one with the phone and send it. Get it out. You want public recognition for this as fast as possible. You also get an icon badge. And you'll see on Facebook how it shows up and Instagram and all those. It just shows as the round band. It doesn't show the black corners. So you also get that icon badge. So you get some digital recognition. We sent an email out to everyone today with these people on it. Here's 41 through 71. Okay, there's your 41 through 71 and their points. Annette Blanchard, Annie Wynn out of San Jose, Hoyt Gorey out of Shelbyville, Michael Granados, Vancouver, Washington, Mark Manch, Trafford, Pennsylvania, LaTerrence Dunbar, Dallas, Texas, Michael Martin, Germantown, Maryland, Donna Lee, Richmond Hill, Ontario. She's in Canada. Donald Catalano, Ocala, Florida. Orlando Mora, Denver, Colorado. Dr. Candy Bell, Sewanee, Georgia. Cheryl PQ, Sarasota, Florida. Leland Burton, Newman, Georgia. Harlequin Murray, Marietta, Georgia. Ernest Odell, Lubbock, Texas. Suzanne Phillips, Shreveport, Louisiana. Isabel Noreyes, Bay City, Texas. Artis Wilson, Houston, Texas. Javier Gonzalez, California. Manny Villalobos, North Hills, California. Robert Ephraim, Orange City, Florida. Francisco Safer, St. John's, Florida. Katie, Sprinkle, Shelbyville. Anthony West, Hempstead. Ebony Holmes, Bloomington, Indiana. Elizabeth Smith, Milford, Michigan. Come on now. It's my backyard. Oh, I know who that is. I know who Elizabeth is. Okay. Wonder if Elizabeth is watching Jim. Her father is I know also in Milford. He's in the top 10. Siamek, otherwise known as Mike Abershami, Tarzana, California. What a name. Rodney Tukes, Hampton, Georgia. Troy Dowden, Cambria Heights, New York. Cambria. Jason Ebby, Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. And Tamara Smith, Largo, Florida. So those are 41 through 71. Now, you got to make the top 32. Every one of you get rocking and rolling, right? You can get to the top 32. Here's 21 through 40, starting at the bottom. 40, Jeffrey Perry, Ruskin, Florida. Reginald Pratt, Mount Airy, North Carolina. Linnell Smith, Springfield, Missouri. Jake Thorno, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Cynthia Lasig, Northport, Florida. Joan McBroom, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. What a name. Love that. Good job, Joan. Nancy Micaiah, McKinney, Texas. Cameron Hope, Orlando, Florida. Romericus, what a cool name. Stewart, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Brian Lord, Fairhope, Alabama. D'Anthony Thomas, former NFL standout, and Oregon knocked people all over the field. Thomas, I don't know. I don't know, D'Anthony, where your hometown is. Maybe you got to tell us that, but you're in Portland area, probably. Ellen Wynn, Dallas, Georgia. Danny Hughes, Knoxville, Tennessee. Philip McCullough, Simpsonville, South Carolina. John Whitney, Norwood, Ontario. Terry Taylor, La Selva Beach, California. Lynette Outen, Locust, North Carolina. John Binns, Carson City, Nevada. Israel Varea, Oak Ridge, Texas. And Charlotte Keithy, Gilbert, Arizona. Top 20 now. We're going to go through the top 20. Talal Alajer, also enrolled by Jim. Wow. Plano, Texas. Brian Hazel, Potomac, Maryland. Willie Crawford, Niceville, Florida. Tamara Ellerby, Teaneck, New Jersey. Aracely Corral, San Luis, Arizona. Great job, Aracely. Howard Hill, Littleton, Colorado. Salvatore Taliercio. Taliercio, what a cool name. West Palm, Florida. Oh, yours truly. I got to get some points going here. Highland, Michigan. Thomas Hanson, Okemos, Michigan. Great job, Thomas. Matthew DeHame, Little Ferry, New Jersey, coming to you from south of the equator. Dennis Blagrove, Bronx, New York. Victor Council, Suffolk, Virginia. Oh, Linhan Tran, O'Fallon, Missouri. That might be a typo, maybe not. Joseph Schwartz, Johnson, Pennsylvania. And the top 6, Maurice Mufara, Bel Air, Maryland. Ben Randall's, Buffalo, New York. Nicholas DeHame, Little Ferry, New Jersey, also south of the equator. They're both calling from South America. They're originally from New Jersey. Ed Neary, San Ysidro, California. James McIntosh, Milford, Michigan. And Pather Neff, La Jolla, California. Pather, look at that, 4,000. Now, this is effective as of the first of the month. This doesn't count what's happened in the last 2 days. So there's been some shifting in here, but this is what it was as we moved into the changeover. So those are the announcements I wanted to share with you. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the prizes are for the top 32. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. And I'm not going to tell you what Sweet 16, Elite 8. I can just tell you that we have a budget, and I want the budget to expand, right? But to give you an example, we just spent about $2,500 on t-shirts and shipping, and it's not a lot, but you think a t-shirt's cheap, but it's still, we're spending money. Now, what's the next round and the following round and the following round going to be? We'll see. Wait and see. We got some big plans for you. But what I want to talk about now is 2 things that are critical as we end out today. And then I'm going to go to your questions. McGuire or Sharon or someone who's got speaking rights, can you tell me the time? I got
9:15.
Perfect. Will you shout out when we are at 9:25? Give me a 5-minute notice.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right, so we want to be done at 9:30 and then take your questions. So those are the announcements. That funding special is going to rock because we're always doing salons. That, and just like construction last month rocked because we're always doing the trades. So what a great time to begin after it. Okay, let me unblur my screen and tell me if you can see. Blur my background off. Auto frame my video off. Okay, I've got a different, I might have to switch this up. Bear with me 1 minute, team. I'm sorry, again, brand new laptop, and I don't know all the settings. So video and effect settings, appearance. Give me 1 second, and I promise you we'll get through this. Because I want to make sure you can see that well. We'll do it one more time. Blur my background, video and effects settings, but it's not showing me them. Okay, well, let me go to a different screen because maybe my laptop is bad. So we're going to go to MacBook Pro camera. Yeah, it's no better. Shoot. All right, bear with me 1 second. Take a minute. I'm not going to take you too long, but I want to go to the whiteboard appropriately. So we're going to go back in camera. Is it blurry for you guys?
Background is blurry, yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wouldn't say it's blurry though. It looks like it's trying to focus, almost like it's doing a portrait mode.
You know what? Oh boy. Okay. Well, it's not letting me, okay, here we go. Mirror my video preview. Touch up my appearance. Adjust for low light. Portrait lighting. There we go. Portrait
There we
lighting.
go. I
So
knew it
should
was
we go
something
back to,
like that.
did we go back to touch up my appearance?
No, no, you're
Okay.
good. That's what the makeup's for.
Portrait light. All right, that dude, I don't like this new laptop yet. It follows me everywhere I go. This new. Okay, so here we go. This is what we're going to talk about. Okay. I'm going to just touch on this real quick. This is investment mentality. We're going to go through this very quick. Uh, if you were on last month, you already saw this. Employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. Is the screen backwards?
Nope, we can read it.
Nope, it's
Okay, cool.
regular. Yep.
Employee, mine's backwards. Business owner, investor. Left side, exchange time. That's a clock for money. You give 40 hours, you get paid 40 hours, right? You time for money. Self-employed, commissions for activities. You get a funded client, you get paid. You don't get a funded client, you don't get paid. You're self-employed when you join DAC. You're an employee today, W-2 employee somewhere else, good for you. You don't need to quit your job. Stay there. Work part-time here. As I tell you, I've built my business in the field part-time. I'm working full-time as a corporate officer. I'm working part-time as a broker in the field. And you can be part-time and do this, right? Self-employed, the moment you join, you are self-employed with DAC. You get a 1099 at the end of the year. You get all the benefits, tax benefits of pursuing a business. Go to chat and say, what are the benefits of being self-employed? I'm a 1099 pursuing a profit. Well, you get to write off your cell phone bill, your mileage, maybe your car payment, your clothing, certain clothing you're buying for work, different things, lunches if you're entertaining someone. You start getting benefits that you don't have to pay tax on that income because you used it for business, right? So employee, self-employed. But the bottom line is you're trading time for money. If you stop working at General Motors, what do you earn? Zero. If you stop working as a self-employed broker, what do you earn? Zero. So we built a comp plan and said, hey, that's not good. That's not an investor mentality. That's a job mentality. There's nothing wrong with job mentality, but I don't want to just trade time for money. I want to think like an investor. I don't want to just put $100 into my piggy bank and it's only worth $100 minus inflation 50 years from now. I want to put it into an investment portfolio so that 100 can grow. And over time, that 100 becomes 200. And then that 200 becomes 400. And that 400 becomes 800 because I invested it. I didn't stash it in a piggy bank. I didn't spend it on a movie. I invested it into my future. If you invest time into your job, you're not investing it into your future unless you take that money that you made and you invest that into investments. Then that money can grow. But if you stop working, you stop getting paid. If you're self-employed and stop working, you stop getting paid. But in DAC, we say, no, 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 no. Think about this like an investor does with their money. Every time you're working an hour in DAC, don't just fund clients. We give you a pay plan that pays you up to 40% on your team's fundings, the same thing they're making as you climb the ladder. And if you build an agency, that agency will always be productive. Not all of them will be productive, but it will always be productive and it'll always kick out money every week like a money machine. People say, I want to own real estate so I can make rent every month. That's good. If you can buy a house and maintain it and paint it and deal with the renting it and deal with the liabilities of it, and to make what? I'm not saying don't have it, it's good. And if the price of the home goes up over time, good for you. It's a good investment. It's better than not having an investment. But if you're going to invest 40 hours of time for something, and one of them, if you quit, you stop getting paid. And one of them, if you build an agency, you and two, or you and three, or you and four, this is your agency. This is your agency here. Everything they do, this is you. You get clients as a self-employed. They're getting clients as a self-employed, and you earn overrides on everything they do. Well, what if they don't do anything? Well, it's no different than what do you make on your employees at work? What do you make on the people next to you at work? Nothing. They may cause you trouble even. They're your friends, but you don't earn on them. So you may not earn anything here unless they produce. But if they produce, you earn something. And what if they say, hey, I'm going to build a team. I'm going to build an agency. And as they build an agency, you can't stop that agency from growing. And all of a sudden, this person down here gets a funding, and you're at the 50% level, and they're at the 40, and no one between you and them is any higher. So you get 10% on their funding, and they get a $10,000 bonus revenue, and you made $1,000 because you're at 50 and they're at 40. See, don't look at this as a pay plan. Look at this as an investment portfolio. When I look at how many brokers I have, I don't focus on the inactive brokers. I focus on the active brokers. When I buy stock, I don't focus on the individual stock price daily. This is stupid. You're going to go crazy. 5 minutes, did you say? Not yet? Okay.
We're at 22. Yep.
Okay,
we're
cool.
good.
I focus on what? I focus on the overall picture, and I look every 6 months or so. I don't look daily. Over time, it's going to grow at 12%. Well, David, it grew at 30%. You should have sold. Yeah, well, what if it went down? And it's Warren Buffett says following the stock market, it's like they're like talking to a drunk uncle. One day it's really good, another it's not. You can't depend on it. Just ignore it, right? So this is an investor mentality in business owners. When you own something that pays you whether you're working or not, and when you stop working, it's a rare day that I don't get a commission email. Override. It's a very rare day. In fact, I don't know that I've had, Morgan would know, she does the commissions, but I don't think I've had a day where I didn't get a commission in a long time. So that's the same thing you'll have one day. But you got to build it. But if you don't have the investor's mentality, you won't build it. You'll just think how many don't do it. Hey, I can't give 40 hours of work to anyone anymore unless I'm building a future income for myself out of it. Because I know I can put 40 hours, I can put 20 hours part-time in here and build myself more of an income than I can 50 hours at IBM. Because I'm building a system that'll pay me long after. You know, if something happened to me tomorrow, my family's getting overrides on me. At General Motors, when I left, I stopped getting paid. I used to work at GM. I don't earn anything from GM anymore. But every job I've had since, I still earn today from, and I will still earn from DAC long after I die. As long as DAC is open in business, my business goes on to my wife. This is a business. So I have an investor mentality, and you can't tell me to not build an agency. That'd be ridiculously foolish. It'd be foolish to not have what every other wealthy person in America tries to have, which is a business that pays them whether they're working or not. And then you plow that money in to the investments. So now I have a goal every week to take a certain amount from our Relevate card and send it right over to Fidelity. A goal every week, just send it there. I don't even know how to link it. You know what's cool about it? They don't max your movement. If you send it to yourself, they max how much you can send. They don't max how much you send to your investment account. You connect the two and you just say swipe it, and there's no max to it. And that's my goal. So now if I make $5,000 this week and I put it into investments, the rule of 72 says what? 72 divided by whatever percent you're earning, just say 12%. 12% into 72 is 6 years. That's how long it takes for your money to double. So in 6 years, that 5,000 will be 10,000. So I didn't just earn 5,000 this week. I earned $10,000 6 years from now. And then it'll double again in 6 more years. Then it's 20,000. That 5,000 becomes 20,000 in 12 years. This is called an investor mentality. I'm not looking to make a paycheck. I'm not looking to get a client. I'm looking to create a business with thousands of brokers, then tens of thousands of brokers, and 100 brokers a week helping a funding client, and then 200 brokers a week helping a funding client, and me earning an override. So what do you have to do to benefit from this? Man, I'm ahead of schedule. What do you have to do to benefit from this? You have to know the pay plan enough to know what you got to do. And then, man, you have a hunger. I remember seeing this, Ellen, when I was at General Motors. You know what I'm talking about. You saw the same thing. That's why you caught it. I saw when I was at General Motors what I just showed you here of a team helping a team, helping a team, helping a team. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. I can make what on what? At General Motors, I only make one myself. And if I quit, I stop getting paid. Yeah, I get a card discount, but come on. And I get a salary, but come on, I can make more part-time here. And then I did. And so I look at this and say, how do you do that? How do you turn that into investor mentality? Somebody going, I'm never going to do that. I don't, okay. You're always at risk that if your employer lays you off, you got to start over. You're always at risk. People go, well, I'm at risk here at DAC, Dave. How are you at risk? Well, what if DAC goes out of business? Well, then you take your sales organization, you plug it in somewhere else. We just had a sales organization of 5,000 people join our business last week. Why'd they join? I don't know. You'll have to ask them. But that whole organization came over and piggybacked right into ours. You can take your whole organization. If they're tight with you, you move elsewhere. But DAC is not going anywhere. We are doing this because we're the company who didn't want to sell. We're the company that didn't want to give up, take away your paycheck. So we're 10 years old and just getting started. We're like a startup, but 10 years old. How do you benefit? Personal commission. You need to know the ladder. How do you go from 40 to 80? You need to know that. Go watch the video. How do you get from 40 to 80? Why do you want to get to 40 to 80? Because when you're at 40, you make 40 on your own clients. When you're at 80, you make 80. That's huge. But the real huge is the difference. You know, I was telling someone in the contest, I've earned, I don't know, $4,500 on personal commissions, but I've earned, I don't know, from new people I recruited during the contest, about $6,000. So since the contest, I think it's about $10,000 I've earned on new production. And why? Because this and this override. Climb this. Well, I don't make the override yet, Dave. So what? You get this. You get a 5-level pay. Start here. Climb the ladder. This is an investor's mentality. What'd you make your first year in college? You paid. What'd you make your second year? You paid. Go back to college now. 100 grand you'll pay to go to school. And what are you going to make while you're there? Friends. You'll make some education. You got to know the personal commission spread. You got to know how override spreads work. Now, check this out. Let's say you're at 50%. You introduce me. I'm not certified. I'm only getting 10%. I get a client. You're making the difference 40. I get certified. Now I'm at 40%. You're making 50 minus 40, right? You're making 10%. Are you training me? Are you encouraging me? Are you helping me? Of course you are. Am I supporting everyone new I recruit? Of course I am. And then anyone they recruit, and they recruit, and they recruit. Why? Because I want to, first of all. But second of all, does the company reward me? Yeah, if they're at 40 and they're at 40 and you're at 50, you're getting 10 on this person too. And 10 on this person and 10 on this person because this one's at 40 and this one's at 40 and this one's at 40. Do you see that 10% override spread goes down through your organization? Now, if this one gets to 50, then you don't get it on this group anymore. Unless you're at 60, then you get 10 on the whole group again. So make sure you understand the override spreads, okay? So the first thing is personal commission. Second thing is override spread. Now, here's the magic. The 5-level pay. You see that? What does that mean? No matter what. They were the only company I'm aware that does this. No matter what. No matter what. All you got to do is become certified. And you, no matter what, make 4%. First of all, you make 40 on your own. Personal customers, 40. And then no matter what, you make 4% on every broker you personally enroll. What time is it, McGuire?
9:30.
Perfect. You make 4% on everyone you personally enroll. So if you introduce me and I do $100,000 funding, and let's just say it's 7,000 bonus revenue, you're making 4% of that, $280. Is it huge? No. Is it pretty good though? Yeah. If you had 50 people here, you're making 4%. And I just want to ask you, do you get 4% of their first funding? Yeah. What about their second funding? What about 10 years from now? Yep. What about 5 years from now? Yep. What if they did $1 million in funding next year and it was 100,000 bonus revenue? Do I get 4% of it? Yep. I wish you would have got more override spread though, but yep. So wait a minute, if I get more clients and I climb the ladder, I can make the 4+ override spread? Yeah. What if I'm not getting an override spread when I recruit them? That's okay. Get more clients and you get override spread in the future. You don't lose that. If you stay ahead of them, you're getting the override spread and the 4%, but no matter what, you're making 4% minimum. So every person you personally enroll is like a rental property. If you can help them produce, you get a piece. You get, Warren Buffett said this, and I'm done with this, we'll go to your questions. Investor mentality. He said, all of you sitting around in this classroom right now, some of you have seen this. If you had to look around the classroom and said, if you could buy 10% of the future earnings of anyone in here, let me use at Harvard or wherever he was, is that if you could pick one person and buy 10% of their future earnings, what would you pay for it? And what would you look for? Would you look for smarts? Yeah. Would you look for personality? Probably. Would you look for likability? You bet. What would you look for if you could only buy 10% of the future profit from anyone else in there and they would sell you part of that? And you could get 10% of their future earnings. Who would you look for and what would you pay? You'd probably pay a lot because they may make millions and you make 10% of that. It's pretty good. Well, guess what? You don't have to buy that here. We give you 4% on every person you personally enroll. But you do need to look for the right people. You do need to not waste time with people who need to be dragged across the starting line. There's an old saying, when a horse stops, dismount. So if you're recruiting people and they don't want to do anything, it's okay. But don't keep whipping them trying to get production. Recruit people who want to. Who would you pay to have 10% of their future income? You'd look for personality, you look for drive, you look for people who do what they say, great attitude. You don't want to be around people with a bad attitude. You look for the good and people, guess what? That's who you want to recruit. And then get them into our certification. We'll train them what they need to know. They'll go from unconsciously incompetent to consciously incompetent to consciously competent to unconsciously competent, and then everybody wins. And you never stop personally recruiting, and you don't let those who don't want to do anything prevent you from recruiting new ones. I was just looking at a school today, and I recruited a guy named Nick Sarnicola years ago, and he named a school in Muskegon, Michigan, the Rooks Sarnicola School of Entrepreneur Studies. And he said, because no one taught him entrepreneurism in school. He never even heard it till he got in this little business. He was in marketing phone service. He was a waiter when we recruited him. I don't take credit for him. I just opened the door for him. He kicked that door in and went for it. And he's made tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions, I believe. His organization's done 3 or 4 billion in sales. He was a waiter. Nothing wrong with being a waiter, but he wasn't a waiter. He was a dynamic young man who just happened to be waiting tables when I met him. You never know who you're going to recruit, but if you don't talk to anyone, you'll never know who you're going to recruit. So, investor mentality. I look at every person I recruit as a potential investment of multiple states of production. And I give them the benefit of the doubt that they'll do that, and I'm here to support them. And if they don't want to do it, it's okay. I'm okay with that. And if they want to, it's okay. I'll work with them on weekends. Families first, God, family, business, but I will make time because that's a future investment in their life. And I want to invest into them to succeed. I'll support them. I'll help them. We all win together. It's an investor's mentality. Don't look at this as a commission job. Don't look at this as a thing. That's too small. That's too small. Everyone I know who's been in this industry more than 25, 30 years, if they look at it the right way, has made tens of millions of dollars. And I don't mean funding, I mean agency building. Doesn't matter if it's insurance, doesn't matter if it's real estate, doesn't matter. The real estate broker in your town with 50 agents, they're making great money. But you know how many agents they've had to recruit to have 50 that are active? Hundreds. There's my dinger. So it's time to end. Let's go to your questions, guys. Investor mentality. What a night, what a night, what a night. If you're brand new, thanks for joining us tonight. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We'll get it washed up. We'll get it cleaned up. I'll even shave before our next meeting. I apologize that I'm not cleanly shaven today, but we love life. We love the Lord and we love you and we want to help you win. And we'll also kick down walls for anyone who gets in your way. We'll knock the walls down. We're here to help you. We got your back. What do you got for us tonight, McGuire? If you want to MC and take us from here, this is the time, team, for questions. It'd be great to get some comments first, some feedback, but then we'll go to any questions you got.
Absolutely. We got Katie. Go ahead, Katie.
Is that Katie Sprinkle?
Double muted you. Sorry.
Oh, look at that. Look
Hey,
at that. Look at that screen backdrop Katie's got there. Yeah.
Don't double mute me, man. Come on now.
Come on.
Sorry.
Look at that screen.
So awesome tonight, as always. And very, very, very uplifting and getting me ready to go again. So, question though, And
Yep.
Morgan said she's going to look into it, but I figured I'd go to the source.
Okay.
Natural health care providers, do they qualify with March?
Healthcare providers? No,
Natural health care providers.
no.
Okay.
It's got to be a personal care. I mean, we can get them funding, but they're not part of the special funding deals.
Okay.
You're talking
fair
about
enough.
yeah, like compounding pharmacies or organic food, organic nutrition supplements and stuff like that.
Well, no, I'm talking about people that do Reiki and
Reiki,
yeah,
acupuncture.
yeah, all
No,
that.
yeah,
No.
no, it's no.
Okay, fair enough.
Personal care, yeah, cosmetic type stuff, yes.
Yeah. And as for the background, total awesome background. But I wasn't expecting it. I had no idea. I got
Well,
the
good for you.
I got the email and a text message from Tyler, and I went, "What?"
Well done, well done. And you had some renewals that didn't even count in this tournament.
Yeah.
Big renewals that didn't count. It would have even been more. Thank you, Katie.
Uh-huh.
Appreciate it. Who else you got?
We have Carmen. Go ahead, Carmen. Get you in here.
I just wanted to say this is good. Good reminder, good impetus, good. Now I feel like I can do some more tomorrow and hopefully somebody's going to do it. But anyway, I just love it. And I thank you very much. And I love your mom too.
Yes. Thank you, Carmen. You always
Yeah.
got a great attitude. We love seeing you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Precious. How you doing, Precious?
Hello, how's everyone?
We're doing
Doing
great.
great.
How you doing tonight?
Good. I just want to say thank you, David, for a good overview tonight.
Well, thank you.
Encouraging. And I just want to encourage anybody who's on the fence of joining and becoming a broker. That it's an opportunity that I came across, and I could have been a lot further if I would have just stuck with it. So it's something that
But you're back, right?
no
You
pressure.
went away and you came back.
Back, yeah. So it's no
Yes.
pressure. And it's a supportive community. It's just a lot of support. And I want to say congratulations to everybody who's in the running. Because
Yes.
I'm not there. I'm not a competitor.
Next time, Precious. Next time.
But I
Next
love
time.
everybody, and I thank everybody for all the encouragement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Absolutely.
the kind words.
Appreciate you, Precious. Ellen, go ahead, Ellen.
Yeah,
Another.
David,
Look at it. Do we have another screen? Do we have another Zoom? Yeah, champion qualifier. I love it.
yeah, I love it. Great, great virtual background there. Thank you. Hey, David, you called me out, and I just had to pop in on this talking about getting it when you talk about the team building and the team structure. You know, the first time I ever saw a compensation plan similar to what DAC has to offer, you know, where you can get started and you can recruit others and help those other people be successful and then start earning overrides on the team building effort, just like brokers do in real estate and other in insurance industry. My eyes just lit up because I came from a restaurant background. In the restaurant industry, I worked in corporate, but we also had a huge franchise division. I was with Domino's Pizza, and over half of the stores in the country were franchise owned. And that was my goal one day, was to be a franchisee. But the one that always made money on the franchisees was a corporation because they got 5.5% royalties off of everything that happened. And that's kind of like being a DAC broker. When you have a big team, it's like you're the one that's franchising it out, and those franchisees are out here building and earning money for themselves, but you always earn that override as you move once you've gotten yourself to those upper levels where you're not getting cut out. So if you will really get it on how this compensation plan can pay you forever and ever, it is incredible getting commission checks every single day, whether you're doing the work or not. And that's a walk-away income that no other business model creates. Also, you know, I've been a traditional business owner, and in traditional business, you have to deal with the headaches of employees and overhead, whether it be rent, utilities, insurance, and all those things that go along with protecting that big business. I don't have any of that to deal with here as a DAC broker owner. I have time freedom. I don't have to deal with employees. DAC, you've already put all of this together, David. You had the bright idea. Then you put the right people in place to run the company behind the scenes. So as a broker, we literally just have to plug and play and follow the systems and keep doing it over and over and over again until we become unconsciously competent, like you were talking about. And that just comes from practice, continuing to do, continuing to do, continuing to do. And before you know it, you'll be popping and having a big organization that just naturally happens on its own. You can't stop it. Once people start recruiting and
Yes.
building a team in your organization, you can't stop it and you'll have a runaway business. So I encourage you guys to stay with this long enough, stick and stay, don't quit, make a commitment to be here long enough to where you're starting to reap the rewards of your personal efforts, but also being able to reap the rewards of what your team accomplishments are. So I just want to share that. Thank you, David. I appreciate all you do.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Hey, by the way,
Absolutely.
McGuire, is my logo correct?
It is.
It's not backwards?
Nope.
Dude, everything's backwards on my screen. Ellen, that was
We'll get
awesome.
you worked out.
I'm so proud of you, Ellen, and so happy that you joined our company years ago. You've been leading people in the field. And guys, if you keep this in mind, McGuire, I know you want to comment in a minute. If you keep this in mind, everyone, this is all based on the foundation of a product that delivers, that isn't going away. And we can always add more sale. I mean, we got payment processing as well. We got the instant funding. We don't even talk about the payment processing. We talk about fueling businesses with funding. But if you think about what we got best offer, not everybody can afford an airline ticket, but if they do, they want the best airline ticket. So they go to Travelocity or, one of the travel sites. They want a hotel. They go to hotels.com and see all the offers and pick their hotel. That's what Bank Breezy is. We got the funding platform. There's banks and then there's Bank Breezy. We got it. And that's the foundation. Before the agency matters, the product matters.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just want to say to Ellen's point, to stick and stay. And even with what Precious said, every lesson that we learn is for a reason. I was just having a conversation today about, we wonder why things happen sometimes, and you wonder how things would play out if you didn't go through certain experiences, right? That's actually more scary than coming back to something or, having that full circle moment. So I just wanted to add that to what Precious said. And then obviously with what Ellen said, it couldn't be more true. So we have a couple more hands up. We'll go to Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff. How you doing, man?
Good evening, guys. How are you?
Qualifier.
Thank you so much, everybody. That was so far very inspirational. Awesome. Couple key points. And Ellen mentioned something about pizza, and I forgot about Yum Brands used to be a client of mine. It's interesting. Customers want what we have. If you're new and you're looking at this, I want to point something out. So I spent a number of years traveling around the country, sitting in the boardrooms of Fortune 5,000, some Fortune 500 companies, and most of the what's called DSA, Direct Selling Association companies. And without fail, I can assure you that those compensation plans will drain you. They will suck the life and the money right out of you and your time out of you. Because in order to succeed, my wife and I built it at some fairly decent levels. You have to spend an inordinate amount of time. You become twisted up and totally out of balance, chasing money. And I'm saying that's what I did. I'm not saying you necessarily would or did, but at the end of the day, I wanted what DAC offers. I wanted that walk away residual income. Not necessarily walk away. I think it's so cool that David's mom at 84 is answering my support emails, and always with a positive little something on the end, just to kind of kick you down the road with your day, kind of encourage you. You don't get that in these other companies. We used to try to talk people into spending 5 times what you'd spend on a tube of toothpaste, right? That you could go into Walmart and get for 5 times less, because they have to mark those products up in order to pay out the levels of compensation. I say that to say this. If you really stop and take a look, if you're new here tonight, examine this. What's been laid out, and if you're new, you barely have a glimpse of it. But if you'll dig in, we're not saying any major commit, just dig in. Look at what's in your back office. Look at the support that's here. Look at the people who are rooting you on. all for free. This does not happen. I've never seen a company like this. Doesn't happen. And you know what's cool about that? David had the foresight, and the team had the foresight to not charge, so it would make it easier for us. He'll suffer through that $1 million that he has to pay out, or that's going to grow, by the way. That number is going to grow a lot larger to support the infrastructure of the company, but it's laid at your feet. I mean, I had new brokers that were on tonight. They started out the call, they dropped off. So what David said, I learned a long time ago, some will, some won't. So what? You can't convince them. Don't get commission breath thinking this is going to be your one. We used to have people bring folks up to us and say, oh, this one right here. This is going to be the one. And you didn't see that person next week. But sometimes they'd bring you someone that, really you think, oh my gosh, this person, right? Good luck with that. And the next thing you know, they're like David's waiter, naming a college after themselves, or a college, a portion of a college. So, I get passionate about this because I've been down the road. In those boardrooms, by the way, those compensation plans, I've written MLM compensation plans. And if you're thinking, hey, maybe I got something easier or better, think again, because the carrot and the stick there is that it's all going to be one of the companies we built. I mentioned toothpaste. I won't name names because I don't want to get in trouble. We sold those businesses, but I will tell you this: you make a lot more money oftentimes off of other things besides the products. You make money from recruiting people and the tools and the different. You make money from getting people to sign up for replicated websites, which you're getting here for free. You make money for collateral materials, which you're getting here for free. You got a whole team of people working. So you kind of have to, I guess where I'm going with this is we have to ask ourselves, why not? Why not put my best efforts into this? Why not for one time believe, give this a shot, move forward with it and see what happens. David, I love it when you tell the story always, and I think this should be included honestly in the either the 4-minute or the 24-minute, probably the 4-minute broker video, when you compare the LPT story, right, and their growth and how that's a great story to tell, and the real estate industry. But so if you're new here, stick around, check this out. Don't just say, hey, literally look into it and see what it can become for you. Because there's a roadmap there, and all you got to do is fill out the roadmap and follow it. And if you'll follow it and you'll stay in touch with the people who enrolled you here, you will get the help you need. If you don't, from the person who enrolled you, who enrolled them? Or what about the company? Somebody's going to reach out and help you, because I've never seen a company ever that had the heart for the real heart for wanting to help people. I can tell you everything. If you just go look it up on the internet, you'll see all kinds of funding stuff. When you start clicking around on that, you'll get fed more of that. What you're going to see is a bunch of people greedy and hungry to make a commission. They'll tell you and say and do anything to pull that commission in without one care iota about that business owner. I'm passionate about this because I'm a business owner, and they don't care. They don't care if your business goes out of business. They're just looking for the commission. And so best of both worlds here, because that's what's going to succeed long term.
Amen.
Love you guys.
Man, I love it. Every time you grab the microphone, McGuire?
Absolutely.
Every time. I just want to grab my notepad and take notes. Love having your experience and your heart, man, your passion.
Thank you.
Very honest, very real. Appreciate you, Jeff, as always, my friend. Harlequin, go ahead, Harlequin.
Hey, David. Great
Hey.
job tonight. Super excited for everything. And I have something that I want to clarify. On the March Madness, you have the 10th is the cutoff.
The 9th is. The 10th is when we release it. Kind of like
Okay.
the 1st was the cutoff before. So you have till the 9th. We release it on the 10th.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
As of right now, the countdown clock cuts it off at 11 p.m. on the 9th rather than midnight. Was that done on purpose, or is that a typo?
I don't know. We'll have to ask if Tyler's on. It's probably a typo. He probably did some math wrong, but unless
Okay.
there's the system, maybe the system is let's just go with it because he might have done it for a reason. It could be when our system changes times, the time zone that our database moves. So let's go with what it's got because we can't manually calculate that. But so go what's there and know that that time may get an hour added tomorrow
Okay.
after Tyler looks at it.
Yeah, because I've learned from experience that last hour sometimes really counts.
Yeah. So let's assume the
Sure.
clock is accurate. And you might go back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to the future. Love it,
Alright.
Harlequin.
We'll,
Thank you
we'll
so
Appreciate
much.
you.
we'll make sure that it's accurate tomorrow if it's not already accurate today.
Absolutely.
All
We have
right.
Candy. Go ahead, Candy.
All right. Maybe we'll get those questions after all, eh, Candy?
You should see a
Yeah.
message to unmute. There you go.
Look at that smile.
Hello, hello,
$1 million
hello.
smile.
I just wanted to, just real quickly, Mr. Perry, I mean, that man, I tell you, you know, I listen to him and he reminds me of when I was in the service. When you have one of those leaders that you want to emulate, you know, I really appreciate his enthusiasm and his hunger. He has great energy. David, you did a wonderful job. I mean, all of you did an incredible job. Miss Wynn, when she spoke, I was listening to her real candidly, and I thought, man, and my first thought was, I'm going to build a team. You know, that's what I'm gonna focus on because that seems to be the key. You know, you can have a Michael Jordan, but if you don't have a team, it doesn't really matter. So you needed that team. You know, everything that I've been through in life, from the military to onward, it was about the team. And I just see now, oh, okay, the way to prosperity is to build a team and to edify them, see to it that they get to their goal. Okay, by
Yes.
seeing to it that they get to their goal, then you get to yours. And then, you know, you just rinse and repeat. You know, my father, when he came to this country, he said, you know, if you want to open a McDonald's, you don't talk to Burger King. You know, you need to talk to the guy who has 10 McDonald's. And so that sat with me for a long time. It was a time when I had hair. I don't have hair anymore. So,
Yeah,
but
You,
more
you
wisdom.
lost some hair,
I
but you
love you
gained a
all,
lot of
all of you,
wisdom.
every one of you from the beginning to the end. And for the people that are coming on board, I'm telling you, you know, this is, you know, you're not going to find anything like this. You're just not. I'm glad to make the top 64. I don't have the emblem to put up there, but I'm really glad of that. And that's kind of for me the first step to getting to the 30s, and
There
then the
you go.
next step to get to the other. So it's all going up a step, all going up a step to the goal. So thank you all. I really appreciate this. This has been motivating. This has been great to all of you.
Yeah. Candy, you first of all, I know McGuire, you want to talk. I just gotta say, you got $1 million smile, Candy, number one. But you may have lost that hair, but the wisdom you gained. I love the stories. I love your attitude, and I
Yeah.
echo everything you said. Did you get your questions answered, by the way, in chat?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay,
good.
good. So
I'm
that's
good.
all set.
I'm
All right,
good.
cool. Well, I
I'm
want to make
fine.
sure we got
I'm
you.
fine.
And
I'm
you're in
fine.
you're qualified. Congratulations. Keep going, buddy. It's wisdom like that, guys. These are the type of people that see the business, and you can't get them to unsee it.
Right.
Some of your friends won't see it. Some of your business partners won't see it, but when you see it, you can't unsee it. Candy
Yeah.
can't unsee it. Yes,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Candy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Appreciate you, Candy. I just want to say one or two more things real quick before I leave it to you. We don't have any more hands up, but I'll just say one that I'm going to be hosting and quarterbacking the huddle tomorrow. So for those of you who are new, jump out tomorrow, 11:25. We open up 5 minutes early, Eastern, that is. Before we get going, just to get some blood pumping and some energy flowing. But something that I didn't say earlier that I just wanted to mention, it was on my heart before we got on, at 8 o'clock. But, I've had a couple conversations just this week with new potential, brokers coming on with DAC, and the conversations themselves are all different. People have different situations. They're at different times in their life. They have different backgrounds, all these different things, but the thing that remained the same between every conversation was the fact that one, DAC is a free opportunity through and through. And two, the only thing that you're really investing in this, and if you really, what you have to ask yourself when you're joining, you're new, you're 8 years in, whatever it is, do you want to invest that time? So the fact that you just, emulated the fact of, or the reality of investing, right? The investor mentality. Every conversation they said, I understand that. I get the fact that I'm not putting in all this money for websites or platforms or training or anything like this, but it comes down to putting in that time, investing, right? Investing into something that is already free. So the only risk that you have to yourself is just putting some time in, but that's what we do with anything that's important with our health, our fitness, our family, loved ones, whatever it is. If it's worth it and you have a passion for it, you're going to spend a little bit of time, and time is all that you need with DAC. So I just want to say that before I pass it back to you.
Love it. Hey, thanks, buddy. Great wisdom. I love watching you grow, McGuire. Your charisma is attractive. You know, there's not only attractive, but it's contagious, and I learned from it. You always have had that. I remember when McGuire was like 4 or 5, I said to his mom, I wouldn't doubt if that guy's president one day. He's just got a personality on him. And so I'm so glad that you've chosen to work with DAC and you're doing well and helping a lot of people. So thanks for everything you're doing, buddy. I want to end and bring us home just by saying, you know, the huddles tomorrow, fill the huddles, come with your testimonials prior. It's so beneficial. You notice how much you got from Ellen, Precious, Candy, Jim and McGuire and Harlequin, all the other people who comment. You gain from them sometimes a lot more than the main speaker. The quarterback will call the play tomorrow, but it's everyone in the huddle that really lifts the whole team up. So please come out early to the huddle. We always open up 5 or 6 minutes early and we stay on 5 or 6 minutes after. And it's a great opportunity to come be part of something and be connected to something and help others feel connected, to be an encourager, to give a clap, to give a comment. You know, let's pat each other on the back and let's encourage, because in the end, you know, a lot of people just don't have that. And we want to produce and we want to reward. You know, it's a meritocracy, if you will. We reward based on your merit, but we don't look at anything else. I mean, we need to see integrity, of course, but as long as you're producing, you climb our ladder, and there's no reason, whether you're a 21-year-old young lady who never went to college, you can become the top producer. If you're a person of color who didn't have the same opportunity 50 years ago and you're 80, hey, guess what? Rock and roll with us here. All right. The world's changed, and it may not be everywhere we want it to be. And there may still be some glass ceilings in certain companies based on who the owners are, but there's no glass ceiling here. The computer does everything. It produces elevations and recognition based on merit, performance, nothing else. So get out there, spread the good news. We need to keep expanding, evangelize DAC to others, spread the good news, find those who it's for, and let's go make a difference in business owners' lives. And as we close, can we just lift up everybody in prayer, all the men and women in the military, and not just ours, people all over the world that are in the line of risk right now. Just lift up the whole world in prayer to the Lord. I'm a believer in Jesus, so that's where I pray, and pray where you pray. And I'm just gonna encourage y'all to do that. A little moment of reflection. We're free, but freedom is not free. And this country is only 250 years old. I was telling my buddy who's 60 years old, and another year, I go, dude, in 3 more years, you've lived a quarter of America's existence. When you're 63, it'll be 250. You'll be more than 25%. And I'm right behind you. And some of you have lived a third of America's existence. We're not an old country, and there's no guarantee that it's going to continue. Especially when you got people saying death to America, death to America, death to America. There's no guarantee. So we got to lift up our military. Without them, we don't have the freedoms we have. Let's be real. We don't have the freedoms we have without the original military that took on the British and all the military since, and civil wars and all the different things we've had. This is no joke. So let's take advantage of the freedom we have. Don't sit back and take handouts of a salary. I know you work hard for that. But man, you have an opportunity to be an owner here. And as the AI movement goes, technology, Elon Musk said himself, I'm kind of saddened about AI because I can't quote him, but I watched the article. He said, there was a time my intelligence gave me a competitive advantage, but that time's coming to pass. If your personality isn't one with good attitude, and you don't have a salesmanship and ability to communicate and care about others, and people know you care, man, like he said, the intelligence that's in my brain is already available in AI. And so we can access that brain the same way he used to think. You can prompt and ask and find it out, and it's only going to get more smart. So let's make sure we're communicating well. Let's make sure we're working on ownership, not employership. Let's make sure we're getting out there and making a difference in the world, and set yourself up. No matter what, we'll always have products that run through this funnel. If business funding dries up, we'll plug something else in. But business funding, I don't see it drying up. We need business owners and we need to fund them. God bless you all. We're at the time. Have a great week. We'll see you on the huddle tomorrow. And I won't be on this Friday's broker update. If we got a death in the family, I'm going to a memorial, but it's going to be run by the team. And I'm looking forward to seeing the recording. So I won't see you Friday, but I'll see you on the huddles between now and then. God bless you all. Appreciate you all. Welcome aboard, everybody. If you haven't already joined, get started with us. God bless you.